Sorry for the quiet, guys. Hi, fortunately. How are you? I am still getting set up a little bit. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Making sure I didn't embarrass myself at all. Hi, Guy Bud. Hi, Zoe Lucia W. I'm good, I think. Hi, Earl Vince O'Lear. I hope I pronounced that right. I need to get my stuff up. I started way earlier than I wanted to. Because of my silly computer or my silly phone acting up. But I guess it's time I actually started, so we'll go with that, right? How is everybody doing? Hope your Friday or Saturday, possibly, is going good. What is everybody up to? Looks like everybody left. Hey, carry me through. Yeah, well, carry me through is here, so I will take that. How is everybody? I keep asking that. I'm doing pretty good. It's going to be a busy evening. I was bad. I will be honest, if you're new to my channel, it's a nature channel. We talk about nature. Not a lot about me and my life. If you want to know that, you can ask questions. It's always a good thing to ask questions. I do have rules. I have a few rules. Those will be going up in just a second. we are 7 minutes already into live, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, we are talking about hot deserts. Earlier today, we talked about cold deserts. We're going to mostly spend most of our time on the deserts in North America, but we will switch over and talk about the deserts outside of the United States and North America. So these are the typical deserts, the deserts that have cactus, the deserts that are hot, the deserts that if you were to get lost in, you would probably not make it very far, at least not during the summer. North America has 3 hot deserts. There's the Mojave, the Sonoran, and the Chihuahuan. We talked about the other desert, the Great Basin Desert, in our last live. So if you have questions as we go through this, either for me or on the topic, just post it. I will answer it. Yeah. Even though these are hot deserts, they're all different, especially in North America. For instance, the Mojave is smaller, covering only about 25,000 square miles, and it sits in elevation around 938 feet to 700. I'm sorry, I always do that. 7,929 feet. It is best known for the Joshua tree, which is actually not a tree, but is actually a plant. I'm glad to hear that you're good. This is not actually a tree, but is in fact a plant in the agave family. However, I would be doing you a great disservice if I left out the fact that this Joshua tree also grows in the Sonoran Desert. So it is not limited. Now, it should also be said that the Sonoran Desert is the most diverse of our 3 deserts. It is home to 500 bird species, 130 mammal species, 20 species of amphibian, 100 species of reptiles, and even 30 native freshwater fish. Not to mention the invertebrates, and it's also home to something like 3,500 plant species. Now, this desert is best known for the saguaro cactus. Yes. There are fish, because sometimes there are rivers, and there are also amphibians. I lost my place. Oh, yeah. So the saguaro cactus only grows in this desert, no place else. You're sorry about what? I don't know why you're sorry. You're fine to ask questions. You probably are not the only person wondering that, so it's okay. Now, the Sonoran Desert does get a mix of summer rain. Oh, you didn't make me lose my place. I lost my place. They get a mix of summer rains and winter rains. The winter rains tend to be a little bit lighter, but it is the summer rains that come in June or July and August that are nuts. They are the monsoon thunderstorms. And if you're from Arizona, you've heard of these. If you live in the Sonoran Desert, you are very familiar with the summer monsoon rains. You can easily pick up, rains can drop anywhere from 3 to 20 inches in a year. Now, I did peek at the Sonoran Desert, and I am seeing temps of 102, 105, and 106 by day, and 78, 79, and 75 at night. Now, the Sonoran Desert ranges anywhere from 100,000 square miles to 120 square miles. Now, the Chihuahuan Desert, it also has monsoon rains, and annually it can pick up anywhere from 5 to 20 inches. Now, most of that precipitation will come in the summer. Now, they tend to have cooler temperatures, and this is the largest desert in North America with over 250,000 square miles, with 90% of it occurring in Mexico. And it sits around 3,000 to 5,000 feet. So yes, winters and nights are cooler. Though I don't see any temperatures above 100. However, I do see 88, 93, and 92 degrees. So those are 3 different days. Temperatures, they're highs, with lows at night that look like they drop into the low 70s to mid 60s. Now, in the winter, it can drop to -7 degrees Celsius to 19 degrees Fahrenheit, and it can even snow. And it should be noted that they can even have drops in temperatures of -18 degrees Celsius or -0.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And in case you're wondering, it does get hot. 39 to 40 degrees Celsius or 102 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, there are, of course, other deserts scattered around the world. We are going to look at some temperatures and some high temperatures, some low temperatures, and then we will start talking a little bit about what animals live where, or at least how many species are within that area. So, the one area of the Sahara Desert today saw 105 degrees at 4 p.m., cooling to 98 degrees Fahrenheit at 7 p.m. The Arabian Desert has a 4-day temperature range of 101 as a high and 85 for a low, 102 for a high, and 85 for a low, 105 degrees, and these are all Fahrenheits, by the way, and 87 degrees. And then the hottest day is 112 with a low of 86. Now the Kalahari, it is right now sitting at 95 degrees, or this is for tomorrow. 95 degrees for a high, 67 for a low. Sunday will be 93 and a low of 62. A Monday will be a high of 92 and a low of 60, and then a high of 89 for Tuesday and a low of 63. Hi, Benjam. Then the Australian desert will see a high of 65 and a low of 53 for Saturday. Sunday, a low of 64 and a high of 53, sorry. Sorry for the JPKE. Sorry for the joke. A high of 66 and a low of 51 on Monday, and a low of 71 and a high of 48. Now, I think, and I'm not sure, so right now, the Kalahari is actually in winter, or it's getting ready to enter winter. It's below the equator, so, and the Australian desert is also in autumn. So that may be why their temperatures are a little bit more mellow. Now, each of these deserts have their own animal and plant species that makes them unique, as well as different climates and challenges. Oh, you're okay. Not a problem. Yes, I think so, with some mountains. I don't know if it's all mountains or all deserts. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And I'm sure I'm leaving out tidbits, but it is what it is. The Mojave, at least in one of its preserves, there are 50 species of mammals, over 200 bird species, 36 reptiles, 3 amphibians, 3 species of fish, numerous invertebrates, and the desert as a whole is home to over 2,000 plant species. It's okay, you're fine. Now, we already talked about the Sonoran, so we're leaving that alone. Now, the Chihuahuan desert is home to 130 mammals, over 400 bird species, 170 herps. Let me explain herps, because I know some of you that are watching this later are going to be like, what is a herp? A herp is an amphibian and a reptile. Collectively, that's what we call it. So over 110 fish species and around 3,500 plant species, with over 1,000 that are unique to this desert. My bottom side is killing me. What is my... Ooh, Okay. Almost grabbed the business end of my porcupine quills. That would not be good. My Chromebook doesn't need it. I'm doing okay, a little bit better. I did not get a chance to do the other deserts. So I will do that now. I think. Okay. So I am doing this off of sort of AI overview. But it's looking pretty close. So there's at least 70 mammals, 90 bird species, 100 reptiles, and of course, invertebrates. Always invertebrates. Oh no. I can spell. I really can. There are around, and this surprised me. There are around 2,800 plant species within the Sahara Desert. So way more plants than I thought there would be, which is cool. I love being wrong. Now, I gotta go back up in my thing because next up we're going to do the Arabian Desert. Maybe. There it goes. Now this time around, it's doing things a little bit differently. So bear with me. The Arabian Desert is home to I don't know how many mammals. Over 100 different bird species, 55 reptile species, amphibians, maybe fish. In total, to more than 4,000 animal species. Are you being serious right now? Okay, and somewhere between 900 to 2,000 plants. Now, they do have wadis, which are valleys, and they also have mountainous areas within the Arabian Desert, and those can be a little bit different environments. So next we have the Kalahari. Oh, wait, we did the Kalahari. No, we didn't. Oasis, they tend to be Oasis. The problem with an Oasis is that I think typically they're man-made. They do provide habitat. So the Kalahari is home to 80 species of mammals, somewhere between 240 to 264 bird species, reptiles, insects, probably also some amphibians as well. And when it comes to plant species, because we can't forget our plants. I will find out. I don't have a count for plant species. Oh, there's around 500 species of plants within the Kalahari. So that works. Now we come to the Australian desert. And if any desert is a desert, it is the Australian. We do not have an actual count of exactly what is in the Australian desert. As crazy as that sounds. A lot of the animals that are in the Australian desert are endemic. That means they are found only in the Australian desert. It includes 78 threatened species. So the outback might include the Australian desert, but it also includes inland areas of Australia. So it's not just the Australian desert. I should also add that there are 3 other deserts. There are 3 deserts in Australia. We're only looking at the Australian desert. There's also the Great Victoria Desert and the Simpson Desert. And they are both hot deserts as well. So again, the outback basically is very vast, very remote, and sparsely populated inland areas of the country. And it covers diverse landscapes from deserts and plains to rocky hills, savannas, woodlands, semi-arid, arid, and even some tropical areas. But enough about that. I don't have a count for plant species. So that makes me a little sad. So I'm just going to go with this. There are 24,000 species of native plants in Australia. Is there a desert in Asia? So that is a very interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are. There are deserts in Australia or in Asia. The Gobi Desert, which we talked about earlier, that desert is in China and Mongolia. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this desert. So I'm just going to put it right into live. So that desert that I just put into live is found in Central Asia, and it occupies about 70% of Turkmenistan. I don't know if I said that right. There's the Thar Desert or the Great Indian Desert. It covers 200,000 square kilometers in India and Pakistan. It is the world's 18th largest desert and the world's 9th largest hot subtropical desert. Now, the Sahara Desert is not in Asia. There are at least there's actually quite a few. The Kalahari is African, I believe. There's a desert in the Arabian Peninsula. a lot of these, I think, are Uzbekistan. No information on that one. Punjab and Pakistan. Pakistan. Afghanistan. Pakistan. Cool. It is, or possibly is, I don't know. Part of it is. The Arabian Peninsula. Iranian Plateau. Afghanistan. I'm thinking Israel. I have no Kazakhstan. So yeah, there are deserts, definitely deserts in there's actually one in Kazakhstan and Russia. I had Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Anyway, so there are deserts in these areas, and probably more that I didn't cover. South America has deserts too. Well, those countries existed. I think they got swallowed up by Russia. I'm sure some of those countries were part of Russia at one time, or I should say the Soviet Union. Punjab. So, Punjab, if I'm pronouncing it right, is a state in India, and it borders with Pakistan. So I want to say Punjab is also a province in India. Yeah, basically they did. And then these countries got their freedom and they are now separate countries. So at one time, and you may not know this, a little bit of history. Pakistan was actually at one time part of India. Eventually, it created Pakistan, which is basically Muslim, and India, that was basically Hindu. And before 1947, India was part of the Indian subcontinent, was a colony of Britain. It was ruled by Britain. And there was starting to be calling out to be independent. And eventually, India became independent of India. And the subcontinent was then divided in around 1947 into both India and Pakistan. So that is what's up with that. If you were confused about Punjab. Anyway, did I cover everything? So yeah, lots of plants and animals in deserts. Our next live is not going to be covering that. We are actually jumping, I think. Man, I need a new computer. We are going to be looking at tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow we are doing pied tamarin and cotton-headed tamarin, which are two monkeys. And those are going to be learn to cares. We have next week we're going to be talking about ferns and scouring horsetail. And then Friday, we're doing our garbage and composting. And then the 27th, we are doing a zoo to do. So that is what's coming up. Awesome. I will be limiting today's live to only an hour. Basically because I still have to do a video. We actually did not so good in this morning's live. Stat-wise. I think we had 79 people. Yeah, 79 people. And 3 likes. I don't know. Yes, I said ferns. Did you Yeah, I'm only going to do an hour tonight. I've been on for 48 minutes and 10 seconds. So, we have a few more. Um we have 1,778 subscribers. We are sitting at 23.2 thousand views, 236.4 watch time hours, and hopefully we're at 2,858 public watch hours. So that is where we are at. I think we are slowing down a bit. I seem to be slowing down a bit, but we'll get there. May not be in October like it was thought, but we'll see. We shall see. I don't know. What else do you guys want to know? I keep my life pretty quiet, I think. We are almost to the end of the month. We have a exhibit focus coming up. That will be the last. I do like it quiet. I don't like live being quiet, but I like my room. I like it to be quiet. I actually had to mute live today for a little bit. Because there were conversations going on in the next room. So it was kind of crazy. It is, the quiet can be peaceful, but sometimes not so peaceful at the same time. So much stuff that the only time it's scary is if there's a lot of noise outside. But usually it's quiet. And it's not so scary. It just depends, I guess. Yep, and it just stopped. What just stopped? The quiet? Oh, when it's loud and then it stops being loud? Yeah, sometimes that can be scary. What I don't like is sometimes the noise sounds like it's right outside the house and it's not. That's when it gets a little bit bonkers. Ah, yeah, that can get that can be a bit scary. I don't like it when, like, if I'm at my brother's house and the dogs start barking. I don't like that because then I have to make sure that there's nobody causing problems. Oh, yeah, they do that. My dogs, or my brother's dogs, will do that. They don't like it when there's people outside or other animals outside for that matter. They like it more or less quiet. And I like it quiet, so it all works out. Not today. I don't have puppy pictures. And I can't go down there right now. The puppies are in bed. I have to figure out how to do that. Okay. Anybody play Godzilla Battle Lines? Just asking. It is for sure my favorite mobile game. Not a that is not, by the way, a endorsement for it. I'm just looking for chat. That's all. Just died. Almost. I'm gonna wait till probably till Benjam comes back and then I'll leave, just because I don't want him thinking that we ended and didn't get a chance to say goodbye. So okay, Benjam, we are going to go. I need to get some work done, and carrying me through needs to get food in her stomach, I guess. So I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.